Hi Libra, here is a general look at your solar chart for May 2012, and this is a period of transition in some ways when you're moving from one stretch of road to the next, but you'll feel a little tentative and self-protective at times, and sort of hold the light of your intuition up before you to guide your footsteps, I would say, because you'll be weighing up priorities, you'll be weighing things up probably at the moment, but it's not going to take over your life, you know. It'll be that sort of a feel to it at times. You may be more conscious of the material, financial aspects of your life, but also in certain relationships. So that'll be in your personal life, but also with others, in maybe a buying, selling, leasing, renting, borrowing, lending sort of situation. And it might be money, or it might be other types of resources, but you'll just be more conscious of that. And also probably your awareness is drawn inwards, particularly from the 9th onwards, when Mercury comes to join position of the Sun. So just, you know, understand that this is the vibe really at the moment, and don't allow a passing mood to make your mind up for you either. So it's also likely that you'll feel that you've got to tread carefully or compromise with certain people, you know, come to some sort of win-win, agree to differ sort of situation or conclusion with people, and you know you are relying on somebody else to provide something for you, whether it's a huge thing like a chunk of property, or something smaller, or maybe it's moral support, maybe it's like that. So whether you like it or not, you know you've got to rely on them for their knowledge, for their expertise, maybe for their moral support, for their contribution, for what something in a material, financial sense, and in a way you've got to sort of not pay lip service, but kind of, depending on, you know, yourself and your situation, dance to their tune. But it's a time to look for a comfortable way of doing things. So anyway, that's the general feeling of it, but I think you'll probably feel it a little bit more from the 9th onwards, when Mercury comes in there. And at the moment Mercury is in Aries, your opposite sign, so a lot of banter, a lot of bouncing ideas, a lot of information exchange. This is a very busy energy in communications with others in a personal or professional sense. Generally it means close relationships, whether they are fleeting ones, working ones, or in your private life, but relationships and collaborations and alliances. And you'll probably feel mental rapport when this is working well, or you actually aren't agreeing with what somebody else is saying when it's kind of out of kilter. But it will at least help you, you know, this bouncing ideas off, this banter or this disagreement will help you clarify your own thinking on things. And you yourself may be more looked upon at this moment as the information giver, or the go-between, the agent between A and B at this time as well. And then from between the 9th and the 24th, discussions and ideas may become more involved, and your thinking must include perhaps the financial aspects of things, or you want to factor in aspects around property or possessions belonging to another or shared with another. And also at this time some of you might be researching something, digging and delving, getting some confidential advice, keeping the lid on things maybe, and perhaps at times just watch out that thinking isn't a little bit too emotional, because that's when your mind and your heart and your emotions are going to be very, very close together, which isn't a bad thing. It just depends on how you handle it. Also at that time, someone or something could touch you quite deeply. You feel quite passionately, quite earnestly about somebody or something that is like a bee in your bonnet, you know. And just trust your gut, avoid emotional knee-jerk responses, and also those of you who are into manifesting what you want, this is a good one for that, because it's powerful. Mercury will be in a very powerful area for you, and it's about regeneration, it's about rising from the ashes, you see, and it's actually possibly to do with finances or property or your emotions. So there's always two sides, you know, at least, but there's majorly two sides, you know, and just try to handle that in the best way you can, and manifest, you know, go in for the manifesting techniques and the law of attraction. Another way this might work is it's actually a great time to be mapping out a game plan, like I said, researching, but just plot and plan for the future and get under the skin of things. And it's a very good time to get really, really down to the nitty-gritty, to get to the bottom line on things. You might be reviewing a previously held position. You might be tweaking or ditching a previous plan, you know. It might be to do with a person, it might be to do with a project. And it also might be the right time for you to have a declutter, and that probably goes for the whole time from the beginning of the month until the 24th. So you're shifting gears, as I say, from one stretch of road to the next. Now, your ruling planet Venus is in a very, very strong position in one of the houses of your solar chart that she really likes, and she's going to be there for quite a long time, which is rather unusual for Venus. So that will mean that anything to do with places or faces at a distance can work very well for you. Travel, love relationship might be centered around a travel situation, or to do with foreign lands, or might be, you know, a foreigner, or friendships, of course, it can be as well. But also money might be centered around a foreign culture, travel, those at a distance. And also, funnily enough, on top of that goes a legal profession as well, or anything to do with academia, an educational environment, because that's the house in your solar chart that Venus is in. So someone you can connect with can give you probably pretty good advice and really a feeling of support. It might be a female, because Venus is very much a female energy. Doesn't have to be, though. So someone you connect with can give you the eagle eye view, maybe, can be a facilitator, can have that knowledge, that expertise that you so dearly need to help you. Also, another thing about this area is it's very communicative. It's about communications. It's about communications maybe in a more serious way or across a wider scale. So publications or anything over the net could be favorably highlighted, and or could, you know, encourage an area of interest, or you putting the word out yourself on something over a wider stage, whether we're talking about, you know, just a few people, or, you know, thousands and thousands. And like I say, Venus is also to do with money. So anything here connected to foreign lands, or travel, or academia, or the legal profession could kind of equal, you know, dollar signs, pound signs, whichever signs, you know, and or emotionally benefit you, or materially in other ways with other useful resources, which, you know, that could benefit you like that, which is to do with sharing knowledge, you being a student and actually, you know, absorbing that knowledge, or in fact you broadcasting that knowledge. And as I say, it could be lucrative. Now, Mars is in a background area of your chart. It's been there since November, will be there until July. This is very unusual for Mars as well, because Mars usually moves a lot quicker than this. And by the way, you can see Mars winking with its little red sparkle in the eastern skies at the moment, not long after sundown. So Mars is in a very background area of your chart for several months to come, and that means that there can be an awful lot going on behind the scenes. It's a very active time for you, but maybe out of sight, or like in preparation mode. You're in preparation mode. The unconscious, though, can be triggered. Your imagination can be triggered. Your ability to manifest what you want can be triggered strongly, especially, like I say, this month, because you're more aware of your inner life and the inner planes this month. But because of that, you should be very protective of your energy throughout the whole of this Mars transit, not just this month, because it can make and some of you will know what this is about, your aura kind of a little bit more easily penetrated by others, and you're more sensitive, you see. So just look after that aura and put some extra protection around, or if you're not into that at all, just be protective of your energy, Libra, and go in for things which take you out of yourself, which nurture you, which take you to another place in some way, which allow you to align. So it's like meditation, yoga, that type of thing, or just into a project. Something artistic will be fabulous, but just into a project which is healing. So it might be a practice, and it might be that some of you are just slowly, step by step, poco a poco, working on your healing at this time, because this is the way Mars works. But as I say, it can work in another way, which is more outward, which is to do with you beavering away at things behind the scene, preparing something, yes, you could be resting and recuperating more with your feet up, because actually this position of Mars is a bit of a downer for the energy, you see, for the physical energy. So you've got to do just a little bit more to help yourself, with just a little bit more sleep and just a little bit more rest and recuperation for your energy, because you might feel a little bit drained sometimes, this long transit of Mars. But do take the space to relax and so on. Having said that, others might be leaning on you more, and you just got to use more of your physical energy to help them. And then, of course, there is this other aspect of this position of Mars, which is about karma. It's about, kind of balancing the books in a way, and take some time to listen to yourself at this time. You really do need it, because if you try to, it's almost like, you're trying to row upstream all the time, but just let your boat kind of naturally turn around and just go with the flow. And some of you who are, high achievers might find this difficult, but it actually might get you to where you want to go quicker. So yes, and help you avoid emotional holes in the road in the future if you just take some time and some space for yourself and listen to yourself and try to deal with maybe some knee-jerk responses which always send you down that same old hole in the road. So yes, and just give yourself some time. I think I said that, didn't I? Now then, you could have strong dreams as well, and a strong feeling of guidance at this time. And this energy is going to underpin all of these very sort of private activities where you are touching base with yourself. But the law of attraction can be working very well, and please do utilize this secret power if you are into this, from the background, you see. And also it's a very good time to pull strings from the background as well and create what you wish to create for yourself in the future. Now from the 21st you'll be in a more outgoing mood, sort of up for things more, checking out fresh possibilities and ready to launch into new things. And here I've been speaking about the faster moving inner planets, but also you've got to put this with the slower moving outer planets, which you're going to find written up on my website if you're not there already, so have a look at those and put the two together. Also you might like to find your rising sign or your moon sign, and also that can add to or subtract from what I've said here, or in fact what you're understanding about it all. And I hope this helps, and I'll see you the next time.